different as we step on the mic, man, you notice the difference. Heavenly blessed with the melanin, baby, you know that we winning. No time for the long talk, got 120 on the clock. Wednesday, 8 through 10, all the bad vibes better stop. Cause you gotta come with that energy. Kazual Konvo, baby, come down and just sit with me. Lil' Coco be spitting that remedy. Kazual Konvo, baby, come down and just sit with me. You better take this shit serious. She dropping knowledge on head and it's free for the play. Tap in right now if you curious. We got the ham radio going lit every age. We go from people to family to pilots. Stay with me if you got something to say. You know it's important if we go acknowledge. Speak on the business and get out the way. What you gonna say about my mama? She winning, you rockhead.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Kazual Konvo Show. I'm Big Boscoe Idris Salam. Welcome to the show where we had casual conversations about the topics that affect the community's personal and business relationships. We also have the casual convo, so you don't have to have the tough convo. Again, I'm Boscoe from the Bronx, and I got my host, the C to the OCO, Coco, in the place to be. How you doing?
Hey, I froze for a second. I'm sorry.
You good? You good? That's why you got me.
I do this every week. I know. Thank you. I'm sorry. I missed the whole thing. Hey, y'all.
You want me to do it over? I'll do it over. You know. I'll do it over. So it's good.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So before we start, I have an announcement. Really quick, I just want to plug this. So I'm ready. This Saturday.
Ooh, that was dope.
Family event, all of that good stuff. You can buy things from different vendors. There'll also be like food demonstrations, entertainment, live entertainment, meet different people. You can meet a bunch of the ham radio personalities, like such as myself, Africa 400, the Real Estate Podcast. Is Cannabis coming? I believe I think she might come. I don't know. But come out, have fun. It's free. 4020 Frederick Avenue, 21229. Now, be ready.
Let's roll.
Do you want to introduce the topic, or would you like for me to do so? So let's just say this week, Boscoe takeover. Or you.
It's the takeover, y'all. New York is in the building. All right. What we're talking about today is why do people date outside of their race? It's a real sensitive topic. And I think we need to talk about this because everyone has a lot of views. Like some call in if you want to call in. You want to give them the number, Coco? Call
410-598-4242.
You can also hit us up on Facebook and other platforms. Let's do this. Let's get this popping. All right, start this off. First question we're going to ask, if we get it started, have you ever dated outside your race?
Oh, that you just going to start like that?
Oh, nah. How you want to start it? Hey, I'm punching in the mouth. I mean, we could do it. How you want to do it?
No, it's cool. I have.
All right. You want to elaborate?
I mean, I got to follow your lead this week. I'm going to try to stay in my lane.
All right. I'll tell you what. Elaborate. Oh, okay. Well, what drew you to it? I mean, what got you in the situation?
You want to hear the whole story?
Hey, we got 2 hours.
Actually,
hear it too.
I don't know. He might be. I don't know. He might be watching or catch the replay. I don't know. But it wasn't bad. What drew me to it was I was on a dating app because of my good friend Tiff. I mean, everybody remember Tiff. She used to do the show with me. So we went through this period where we were single. And we was like, okay, she was on first, and then she was like, friend, try this dating app. So I was like, okay, cool. So it went on there. I'm not going to say which one it was because I do not suggest that for anybody, but I did meet a great person. However, it was on a dating app. And so you know how like somebody come through on a little message and they like your thing, but sometimes they may look like spam or catfish.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought he was a catfish person at first because he was like, you know how some of the pictures be too good to be true.
Mm-hmm.
It was one of those. So okay, he was like messaging me for like a couple of weeks. I had never said anything.
Mm-hmm.
So one day I was just sitting there. I was kind of like, whatever. So I finally messaged back, and he was like, "Oh, I thought you wasn't going to ever say nothing." Da 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 da. We was actually pretty cool. Um, I thought he was a white guy at first, but he wasn't. Um, Puerto Rican guy. Real cool, down to earth. And I think his personality is what drew me to. We ended up exchanging numbers, make a long story short. So when I talked to him on the phone, it was like we had known each other forever, like forever. So it was like instant like connection, friendship. And we just started to like hang out. And it wasn't even, I think what it was, because it wasn't like sexual based.
Mm-hmm.
It was more so just, we were just cool. We started hanging out. Then he was a Gemini, I'm a Gemini. So, we was already like,
That's
we
right.
lived. So we
Mm-hmm.
was hanging out. And honestly, I did not even um think about I'm out with somebody that's not black. Because I think
Right.
when it's the connection and it's somebody that you just genuinely like attracted to, vibing with, you don't see the race. You don't see color. You just see the person.
Right. Well, okay. I'm gonna tell you why I opened it like that. I just want to put you on the spot. That was all. Now we're
That's
gonna
fine. Look, I think by now we know I'm an open book.
we're gonna get back to the regular scheduled program now. Um, it's like why do people date outside their race? It's a lot of reasons. Some people just have an attraction to different things. Some people just you got some opinions where some people just don't like their own color for some reason. I think some people have a power thing, and to touch on that right quick, I met some brothers who dated outside their race, and they only date exclusively outside their race because they feel like, I guess it's the strong black women thing. They know black women are not going to take a lot of nonsense. You either bring it or you keep it moving, and they feel that with some white women that they're going to be like, okay, baby, I'll do it your way. I'll do da 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 da. Which basically they're looking for someone who's going to cater to them no matter what they do. And the black woman is like the type where you give me, I'm gonna give you. Or whatever I give you, you need to give me. It's like 50-50. This is not all blacks, it's not all whites. But I think with some men, and I'm speaking on the man's behalf, that's what happens. Then you have those who are just attracted. It's nothing against their own color. It's just, they may be attracted to it. Then you have those who I guess they just don't like their own. It might be the way they were raised, and some might be raised in a predominantly white neighborhood. They just never dated a black person, and they feel that we're not on that level. I don't know, but what's your opinions on it? Or why do people date outside?
Um, for some people, I think it is a preference.
Hmm.
Some people say for reasons you stated, and of course, some people, if I want to specify black men, and I think it's a different range of whys when I've had conversation with black guys. And even like recently, I asked people because I had that we was having a show, so I asked. Um, some were like, because y'all have an attitude all the time, or y'all just nasty, they more submissive. They don't talk back, they don't do this, they're more attentive, so to speak. So I'm like, okay, so where are you meeting the women and you are just grouping everybody, but it's kind of like everything about black women was negative, right?
Right.
So then it's kind of like, so what it's kind of like you stereotype all of us, and it's like we're not good enough. Or
Right.
some say, well, y'all just ratchet, ghetto, and those are the things that upset me. So I think when you demean
Hmm.
a race of women and you make it seem like these women are superior, or even some guys say, well, white women or mixed women or women from other countries here,
Hmm.
and they want mixed kids or they want to have beautiful children, as if to say, to have a child or a family with a black woman, you're not going to have a beautiful family.
Right.
So you see that a lot. And I think the stereotype of what's considered beauty is kind of like that thing. So which lead me to ask a question because somebody used the term exotic. So I said, well, what the fuck is exotic? I mean, excuse my French. I said, well, what is exotic?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So when he told me, he was like, the long hair, the Dominican, the da 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 da, Puerto, and I said, so that's exotic to you. So I said, well, give me your definition.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, so you saying American women or black women are not exotic? His answer was no. So I said, well, let's decipher this.
Mm-hmm.
And most men, and I asked a couple of guys a question because I wanted to see if I was going to get
Shows
the same
Lamont.
reply. Hey, Lamont.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the reply that I got from everybody. So I said, well, look up what exotic really means because exotic is foreign,
Mm-hmm.
but we could be foreign to somebody else. And it's crazy because I noticed when it comes to white men, Jewish men, Italian men, Puerto Rican men, all these other men, we are like gorgeous.
Right.
We are exotic to them because we're not of same culture. So I said exotic is different. Exotic
Right.
is something that's foreign to you. So
Right.
if a person is I'm trying to work on my words. Physically challenged. We are, well, you know what I mean when I say that, right?
Yeah.
Or you view a person as being physically challenged,
Mm-hmm.
but they may be from another country. Are they not exotic? They're
Right.
like, no, because that's not. They are still because they're still foreign. It's just
Right.
something new to you, different culture, different whatever. It doesn't specify you got to be from this island to be
Right.
considered an exotic types. But that's what they want to go for. So just say that's what you consider as beautiful. But I think the issue and where black women are misconstrued as to what we say is the men who demean us and put somebody above us, as if to say we're not good enough. And I think that's the discrepancy, and that's the big argument that keeps
Mm-hmm.
getting missed. But every time we open our mouth, it's always, but let these same women talk about us and say the same things. Y'all laughing and joking like it's funny. Y'all don't speak up. And it's kind of like, it's like a chain effect.
I think I agree with you. I think the problem is with that is and we spoke on this before, it's always the loudest ones that people hear the most. Yeah, with exotic is foreign, yeah. But I could see the exotic in a person here. It just I think it's just I think it's preference because I've seen women overseas that don't compare to some women over here. And I might say this woman is exotic, like trying to think of somebody like India Ari when she first came out. I saw her as exotic because of how she was. She's from Colorado because she was just so natural. So, you know, I think it's in the eyes of the beholder. And with some women, like when I dated outside my race twice, and it wasn't because the person was white and it wasn't because the person was Cuban. We just got along so well and we just started dating. So it wasn't nothing like that. Now I will say, when I would walk down the street or go to the mall and I would see black women, I was like, dang, I kind of felt ashamed because in my heart, I know what I really wanted. You know what I mean? I was like, damn. And I felt like with the Cuban person, it wasn't so much. But with the white girl, I was like, damn. And that told me right then, black women or women of color, Cuban or whatever, that's my preference. And because it really got to me. And even the girl I was with, she said I could never compete with that. In my mind, I was like, "You're right." I didn't want to sound rude, but I didn't say it to her. But that's how I felt because I knew this black woman was walking by, and I was like, "Damn." It just and people say, "Oh, that's racist." No, it's not racist. It's your preference. You know inside in your heart what you want, what you like more, and that told me right then that um I couldn't date a white. I can't say I couldn't. I'll just say it would be hard for me to date a white person because I know how I feel inside. I'm like, I'm gonna still have this thirst for this black woman. You know what I mean? Uh,
Hmm.
and
What
yeah,
what was the conversations? Did you see? Do you think it's like difference in like the conversation, how is like how you guys interact? Are you cautious of what you say? Things like that.
yeah, the conversation's totally different. Like based on the Cuban person, she she was more, and this is not, this is not throwing the blanket over all black women. I want to get that out the way. The conversation was different. It was just real different to where black women have that energy, and it's not a bad energy. It's a real, like, how we as black people get. We get, you know how we are. So it's not a bad energy. With the
Mm-hmm.
Cuban person, she was so calm. It was like me talking to a psychiatrist or somebody. I mean, I'm not crazy. I'm just saying, I watch a lot of TV, but but it was like talking to a psychiatrist or a doctor. It would just sit there, and she would just sit there and like study me, and then would talk so calmly. But she had that when she got pissed. She had the energy like black women had. Well, I'm gonna beat your ass, which was cool.
Mm-hmm.
The white person was more like, I think I had to watch my words, which I didn't want to do, and it was more she was listening to me because she didn't want to get me angered if I said what I really felt. It just didn't. It just didn't seem genuine. It's more like I want to listen to this guy because I don't want to get him mad. I don't want to get him angry. I don't want him to leave us like that, and I don't want anyone like that. That's why, like black women, I want somebody who's gonna basically, hell no, and check me. That's what I want because I'm not always right, and I want to be able to say what I want to say, and that person say what they want to say. Then we say, okay, let's fix this shit rather than just be okay, baby, you're right. I don't want that. And see, that's what black women bring. Black women bring that. Okay, all right, what now? Let's get down to this, and and it's not all white women, and it's not all black women. Just my experience, you know.
I wanna Mike made a good point, and I kind of wanted to touch on it, and I want to see your view on it too, because it's kind of on what you was talking about. He said, where it go? Dating outside. No, wait a minute. Where it go? Where it go? Where it go? Where it go? He said this is the problem with dating outside our race. They don't understand our struggle, and then he said they don't understand racism or discrimination in our daily life. Now, again, like I said, I did date outside my race for a while. It didn't determine. I think the conversation was pretty cool, genuine. I do think he made a good point. Is certain things of how you communicate and understanding. Um, I was never cautious of what I said, but I think sometimes when you are with a person and you're trying to be with that person and build a relationship, it's kind of it makes things a little weird. And I think that that can determine the longevity. You shouldn't have to work on eggshells with your partner. Um, I think even with he and I think the difference was some of the things I spoke on. It wasn't like he wasn't dismissive. It was more so like I get it, I see it, but I could never imagine. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's not like a down thing. Whereas though I have seen, please don't take this the wrong way.
You
The
know.
same women of other colors, like white women, Puerto Rican women, Asian women who date black men,
Hmm.
they will trash us about our features, our color, our butt, our size, our lips,
Hmm.
and get these things, but you land next to a man that has these same similar features. So at some point, it's kind of like we looking at y'all like this how she really feel about you too.
Yeah.
Whereas though it's a difference in when you're really trying to really be with a person and not because oh we want this strength, we want big size and penis, we want these things and all of that other stuff. So I
Hmm.
think when it comes to having a watch what you say, I think that can determine the longevity, or I don't think that should be a thing. You get what I mean? It shouldn't be nothing off the table. I gotta watch what I say. No, you gonna learn this. If you gonna be with me, this is what I gotta go through.
Hmm. I agree.
Everything.
And you was talking about the looks, the appearances, and see that's what the white girl. She was real nice, very nice. And the thing about her, she was down with a, once I got to talking to her, she was she was with the black struggle. She understood, like I could say what I had to say, and I think Mike said that she was studying me or learning me. She listened, and
Can somebody
she
read Lamont comment, please?
I ain't
Please
messing.
read.
I'm not messing with Lamont. I'm not messing with Lamont. I see. I'm not messing with Lamont. Lamont, you my brother, but I ain't messing with you tonight, man.
Can I read it? Well, can I read Samika? Samika
Go ahead,
said,
go ahead, go
I'm
ahead,
sorry,
go ahead.
I hope you don't mind me saying her name. She said, this is black only ass.
I ain't paying speaking
Lamont,
mind, no mind either. I see.
another person said, I'm not going. He said, I did it once, biggest mistake of my life, and will never do it again. Laid better to a sister.
Yeah,
But you know what? I think some things too, and we see, and I think we as black women, we see like when the guy, I'm gonna say the men, because I'm not gonna say all that choose and prefer or demean us and uplift them. Just like we recently seen in the news, like a couple of months ago, the guy who was tweeting all of these negative things about black women was
hmm,
with a white woman, put her on this pedestal, and she killed him.
yeah,
But then the whole family wanted all the black women to do what we normally do,
yeah.
fight for our men. We was like, oh no, sis, we gonna sit this one out.
Mm-mm. And see, that's what I'm saying. With the white girl, when I talked to her, when she finally spoke, I realized that she was like with the black. She was telling me stuff I didn't know, and I was like, "Oh, okay." And I was able to speak freely after a while. The only problem was, um, she was scared. She would be scared to say things to other white people, and I'm like, if you understand and you know have all this knowledge and you let me speak freely and you speak and we're vibing, but you're afraid to say it in front of your own people. That's where the problem came.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm like, because she knew. I mean, she would telling me stuff. I was like, oh shit, you know that, you know. But she would not say. She would tell me, I can't say this. Why? You dating a black guy, but you scared to, say that you understand the struggle and you got this knowledge and da 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 and da 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 da, and you can't tell them that I'm out there. This like I said, this is years ago. I'm out there doing this and doing that. You afraid? And that's how we kind of drifted apart because I'm like, that means if it went down, you wouldn't have my back. Now, the guys that just the males and females who just down black women because of this and that. You know what I say about them? Y'all saying how black women got full lips, big booties on, but from what I'm seeing over the last 15, 20 years, a lot of people are trying to be like black women. But you're dating this white girl who has the same build as this black woman. But you
Mm-hmm.
don't like it because the black woman got it. I'm like, that don't make sense. You know? That don't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
And
It does.
another thing I don't like, and I know we got listeners, um, white women, you ain't gotta try to talk like black women. That's a turn off to me. If you're white, I mean I'm not dating anyone white. I'm just saying, be you. You ain't gotta talk with this ghetto slang and that's a turn off to me. I don't even like talking to white women who I mean, just in a conversation to talk like they're from the hood. I'm like, no, be yourself. That's not how you came up. But now you all hood and all that shit. No, hell no.
So what about the ones that who say, well, I grew up in a all black community, or
That's different.
I have, or this is the one, I have black friends.
I don't like the. I don't like that. I got a lot of white friends, but you know what? Well, you hear from Southerners. I talk like a white guy, but I got white friends, but I'm not. Nah, nah. I don't go for the. I got black friends. I could see if you grew up in that environment all your life, because if that's all you know, that's how you're gonna be. Just like black people who grew up in an all white neighborhood, you know, they're gonna sound like the average white guy. But if you just doing that just to, no, it's a turn off to me. Just keep it 100.
I'm looking at the comments for the listeners. I'm sorry, I'm trying to keep up and keep you guys in the loop what's going on visually. Um, a lot of good stuff coming up, and the one thing is, um, it's all good until it get real. Everybody pretty much has the same perception of that, meaning it's all good as long as you're getting like the benefits of whether it's good sex, the look, you feel protected. With some women of other races, they feel more protected by black men, all of these other things. But then as soon as that black man,
Mm-hmm.
get into something or the odds are against them, they gonna turn their back or just cry. I'm like, oh my God, no. And
Yeah.
then become they don't understand what's going on, not understanding this is something that this black man has went through since he was birthed. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And then it's like, when do you speak up? So just like how you mentioned, it's cool to have this conversation in private, but you won't publicly defend me. But you would want me to publicly defend you or defend you to the family or, different things like that. So I think when it comes to the loyalty, I think it's important when people look at these relationships and understand when it gets thick and y'all get into an argument, they play the first thing that go is the race card, or they call you out your name.
Yeah, Mike made a good point. They do understand, but who wants to be a nigga? You know, and I, ugh, it's crazy. I mean, and
Now,
also,
Mike, I don't know because they will have babies by y'all. And I think that's the thing. I'm like I mentioned earlier. A lot of people are like, oh, I want to have mixed kids, or I want to have this thing, or they think it's cute. It's like an end thing, and you hear a lot of us
mm,
say the same thing. Oh, I want
I
my
hate,
partner to look like this and have curly hair, light skin, and all of this thing, just
I
to
hate,
think you want to have cute kids.
I hate.
I'm here to tell you, some like kids and mixed kids are very physically challenged. That doesn't mean you're gonna have, you know,
And if you ugly, you know, don't think you're gonna be. You got a 50% chance of your kid looking good. Because if you're ugly, hey, I'm just saying, you know what I mean. If you're ugly, like, don't think that color. And I hate that when they say I just want to have mixed kids. Well, I hate that. And it's not me saying that I have anything in
what do you
mind
think
with your
about
children.
you as colorist? Do you
Yeah,
think some people
it
who
is.
like I only do this?
That's
It's
a
like
whole me thing too.
a
My
form
wife
of
said he won't date dark skinned women. Yeah, it is. It's colorism. I mean, like, and to be honest with you, I think you're bigoted towards your own race. You know, because if I'm gonna have a kid, I'm not having a kid because this lady is white or light skinned or whatever. I'm having a kid because we want to have a family. You know, let me see. Two of my children are dark. The other ones are about brown, more like you. One is like kind of light skinned, but all the women were black. It's just I'm the darkest. I was a dark one. They're all your complexion. I was the crispy one. So it's like a 50. Like the 50% chance. You know what I mean? It's colorism. It's a shame. I mean, I'm not having a kid just because someone's light skinned. Nah. And I know we got a lot of I got a lot of white Facebook friends, but I said, oh, so they just don't like you know white women. I didn't say that. I just said what my preference is are black women. That's my preference. Like DJing. I prefer to do R&B and hip hop or old school. That don't mean I won't do new stuff. It's just my preference. You know? And I found that out when I dated that white girl some years ago. When we walked down the street and went to the mall and black women looking in front of me smiling, I was like, damn, that told me I wasn't happy with who I was with. And then when she started talking about all the stuff, but was afraid to say it in public, I was like, well, that's not good. Because that means you don't have my back, you know?
what about like we talked about like image and all of that stuff, and people like, oh, this looks good, or they think because I got this person, like I didn't came up, I made it.
I think it's
So
based on who you meet.
right.
Yeah, who you meet.
Um,
If you meet a black woman who, I guess, been who's been around it, been around it, they'll give you career advice and stuff like that. Now, if you just meet someone who's been in the hood all their lives or whatever, you may not get this stuff. You may not see this image. You may not get this career advice. You may not get any of that stuff. You got to be exposed to it to know it. Black or white. You know, and I think with us,
and see, I don't be angry because the fuck we like black men, we gotta fight all our life. I'm sorry, the voice of ham radio has said.
you said what?
The voice of ham radio has said white women, a white woman he dated, asked him why are black women so angry. And he said he had to coach her
Positive.
and check her. I don't think we are angry. I think, let me choose my word. So I think the issue comes. Do you know how black men be like, we always every day we gotta fight, every day we gotta do this, every day it's a struggle. I think people forget, especially black women, especially women that look like me, darker than me, or whatever. We have a struggle as well every
Okay,
day.
you are.
We
Yeah.
face we face a lot of things. We face a lot of hate, not just from other cultures. We face it from our men as well. So just imagine getting beat up by that, beat up by society, beat up, always being labeled. Would you be happy go lucky every day?
And see,
Or
that's
would you always we always have to the same way like y'all feel like y'all have to defend yourselves in the public amongst everything like that. We also gotta defend ourselves against y'all. We got to defend ourselves at work. We got to defend ourselves with our families. All of these different things. Um,
Lamont's right,
what?
in my opinion.
What do you say?
It's a stereotype until they need you for the feminist movement. I
Oh,
always
my
say,
yeah.
I always say, and I'll say it till the day I die. What has the feminist movement done for Black women?
Nothing,
It,
because that's why we. I mean, if you want to think about it, just think about anytime there's an image of a black woman, it's in a negative light. Anytime someone goes viral or is supposed to be funny, we're actually being mocked and made fun. Made fun of. We're actually
Honor, you
being
are.
looked at as it's always a ghetto. You don't see people interpreting a black woman as strong, resilient, funny, professional, or speaking correctly. It's always the
Yeah.
worst, the worst, or considered ratchet. So this is what you putting out there, and you want the rest of the world. And so when they come and meet us, this is what they expect. And even when you talk to people from other countries, and even in the work environment, I've encountered it. That is the impression, and that's the expectation of all black women. So when you meet a woman that carries herself well, that stands for something, that doesn't act this way, it's like, well, when is it going to come out? You're like, what do you mean? Like, you get what I mean? So now you wonder why we angry, because look at what this is like every day. The same way we like, okay, we get what our men go through. We understand your struggle. And I say it all the time. Every time we have conversations like this, it's like, hear us too.
You know what? That's why I hate the reality shows and stuff like
Hmm.
that because they portray Black women as everything but good. And then the problem I had with some Black women is you're just hating on them. No, I'm not hating on them. They are giving Black women a bet. Okay, look at hip hop music. How are Black women portrayed compared to the white women who rap?
Hmm.
That's what I'm saying. Stuff like that. Then look at the Real Housewives stuff. We are Black women are portrayed as trash.
And they
Right.
consider it black excellence because you have a
That's
large sum of
not
money.
right, and
Right.
that's what I'm saying. And it's frustrating, man. Um, what is it? Only Rachel until they yeah,
He
right.
meant ratchet.
Yeah, I thought he meant Ratchet. Yeah. So I mean, like, yeah, I
Okay.
agree. Black
Okay.
women have a dealt a bad hand. I
And
agree.
TV said, yeah, he said that he doesn't think black women are angry, but I believe there are black women that suffer from trauma and are passing it along in their relations and to their offspring. I think it's more, I'm gonna only speak for me. I can't speak for every black woman, but I do think to a degree it's true, but I also think it's not teaching them to be, it's kind of like teaching them to persevere through it and
Yeah.
not buckle down to it and fall and succumb to it. So it's kind of like you stand tall, you be proud of who you are, because the world will tell you that you shouldn't be proud of who you are. The world will tell you that you're ugly. The world will tell you that you're not smart. The world will tell you that you're all of these things. But no, you're strong, you're a queen. I mean, even like with my daughter affirmations tell her we tell her all you're gorgeous, you're beautiful, you're pretty. Because once this set in, when she get out here in the world, you can't tell her otherwise. You can't tell her she not a princess. You can't tell her she not a queen. You're not gonna put this image in front of her and tell her this is what she needs to look like. No,
Mhm.
she can be beautiful within her own skin. So I think it's how we interpret those things.
Right.
Or is it really teaching to be, or is it teaching to be strong and not understanding? Don't let that get to you as though now you bowing down and just accepting anything and thinking that you got to look like this. And that we go through it all the time now. So now you see more women are becoming natural, more women are embracing their complexion, they're embracing their hair and their features. And you
Mhm.
have, like, I think Mike and Lamar mentioned earlier, like they're getting surgeries to look like us, and then we getting surgeries to smaller our nose, or it's like
Yeah.
backwards.
Mike makes a point. They use the doll test to see how they program us. I remember the doll test, and
Hmm.
that was really eerie, man. I remember it's like 20 years ago. I remember that. It might have been longer, might have been shorter. Exactly. It's crazy, and it's real frustrating because see, we are our worst enemy, and I know we've heard that before.
We went
Um,
off topic like a bud, but it's fine.
yeah, it's like with the men, you got the men who say, I joke about the extra things that black women wear. But I'm a clown. But men say I'll date a white girl because a white girl don't wear the fake hair and all of the. But so you're gonna trade out that to have to compromise, everything else, and then you have the women who basically get other black women to say niggas ain't shit. Men this, men, and blame men for everything. We have a certain group within our own community who don't want us to succeed within ourselves. Men on both sides of the fence. You have them because that's why I always go on for the feminists. I say these feminists do not want black women to be with black men. They want black women to be with black women. They want black women to be with white women or with white men. Then you have the misogynist men who act the same way. They want the black men to be with the white women. And this is nothing against white women, but they want the black men to be with the white women or whoever and leave the nappy headed hoes alone. That's the way they put it. Let's keep it 100. And the fake black women, da, da, da. That's what we have, these little groups within ourselves. And if you're a black woman or black man who feels that way, you can you can kiss my ass. I'll put it that way. What I want to say, I don't want to say. What I want to say, I
You
don't.
can
I'm
say
not going to
it.
say. Okay,
You can,
for
you
you
can
black
say
women, you black feminists who always down in black men and saying we're not this and that and this and that, and for you black men who always down in black women saying da, 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 y'all can suck my dick. That comment does not represent the views of Hand Radio or the Casual Convo show. It represents me, Idris Salam. Y'all can suck my dick because y'all ain't shit.
it. Okay.
I hate to say it that way, but it angers me because I see these one always saying, "Well, black man did it," and the black man did it. I'm like, you know what? If black men, I'm gonna say to the women, if the black man is like that, why are you trying to get a black man there? Take your ass to the other side. If and the black man, if you feel a black woman like, take your ass to the other side. Don't be trying to holler at every black woman or every black man, but you sitting there saying black men and black women ain't shit. That
Mm,
means you ain't shit then.
mm.
Let's keep it
Facts.
100. So that's my rant. And on to the next topic.
So,
Acceptance.
uh, I have a question.
Yeah. Sorry, man, but it makes me so
No,
mad.
it had to be said. I mean, I'm gonna try to, well, let's back a little bit. So when you were dating, in your interracial relationships, okay,
Mhm.
um, that's coming up, Lamont. Don't give me, let
I
me
see
drive
that.
it there. Let me drive it there. So how did the family, if you ever met the family,
Mhm.
or how did the family receive you? Was there like issues? Were there like side eyes? Or like, if, like, when you out in public, did you
I,
notice like any looks, whispers, anything like that?
I can't say no with the family. I met the father, and well, met the father and mother, but I never met the sister and brother and cousins on it. The father was cool. He was cool with it. He was like, yo, he was like, he. I remember. Oh, I thought that was Lamont. 'Cause I remember Lamont's situation. The father was straight. The mom, she wasn't cool with it. She wasn't cool with it. In public, people looked. People. The funny thing is, the guys, the guy. This is what angers me. The black guys were like, yeah, yeah, you got a white girl, and I didn't see it that way because I wasn't dating her because she was white. The black women, and I could feel them. Some had to look like I can't believe you. Others were walking by like trying to catch my attention. This is just to get that like you see what you're missing, you know. And at that moment, like the ones that got angry had the angry look. I ain't gonna lie, it got to me, and I wasn't mad at them. It was like I was mad at myself because, like I think, like Mike said, you date outside your race, you date outside your culture, or you lose your culture, whatever. He was saying something like that earlier. Now the ones that walked by me, and I told my niece about this one day. The one that walked by me who were like, "You see what you missing?" Because one, I think I was at Belk, I can't remember. One walked right in front of me. I ain't gonna lie, she was built like a freaking brick house, and she was smiling at me. And she knew I looked at it because she kept looking back at me, and she would always find a way to walk in front of us.
Okay.
And that's when I said the white girl was like, I could never compete with that. And I was like, no, that's cool. You ain't got to. She said, no, it's not. She said, I can't compete with that. In my mind, I was like, you're right. And I said this earlier show, you're right. And I was like, damn. And at that moment, I mean, we kind of like both agreed that when it's not best for us because I learned she was kind of crazy too. After we started dating, she was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. So we're still friends, but we know we'll never have nothing like that again. And I told her, I said, look, it's best because I just felt like me looking at this black woman all the time. I was cheating in my head, like if the woman said, look, if you can get away from her, we can da 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 da. And that told me right then, I don't need to be in this relationship.
My experience was a little different.
What?
I think my experience was different probably because um his preference and all he really dated was black women, right?
Right.
Black plus size, you know.
Mhm.
So
I like them sizes though. Oh,
so
man. Maybe 16 and
so
up.
it's like he wasn't attracted to, or I guess, like his own race or other races. It was like he just, love black women. So anyway, long story short, it's kind of like, I'm not gonna lie, I will forget. Like I said, after I didn't see that I wasn't dealing with somebody that was black. You know what I mean? Because we was cool. We had a good relationship. So when we would hang out, and it wouldn't be until you get the looks
Mm-hmm.
or people looking. So he would never like shy away. It was more so like he would embrace me closer, like
Yeah.
give me something to look at, or something like that. So I found it like funny or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's just kind of funny because it's like it was one time we were out and it was like another couple, black guy, white woman. You mugging me,
Right. Yeah.
sir. And I think that drives me to my question of I'm probably jumping ahead of myself a little bit here
We
to
got a
say
so hey.
when what I have noticed is for a long time
Mm-hmm.
we've always seen our men with other women, right? Other races of women, and it was thrown in our face like boom. And of course, when our men make it to a certain stature, I'm not even just going to say celebrities, but a certain point of a bracket,
True.
all of a sudden all of these other cultures of women, and now you just say F us. When we was there the whole time, while you was down and out, it was cool to be in a relationship with us. But then when you get and make a couple dollars, all of a sudden we're not good enough, so you go over here.
True.
But now when you started to see the shift and you see more black women
Mm-hmm.
dating outside their race, oh, our men are in an uproar. It's like you selling out, you this, you that. But it's kind of like, and I'm not even trying to be funny. Look at the ratio, especially black men to women, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, a lot of our men are dying, they're locked up, whatever. I'm not making excuses.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
But not only do we got battle with them, we also got battle with men. You get what
Okay.
I'm saying? So then it's kind of like at the end of the day, we may want black men, but a lot of black men just don't want, especially women that look like me. I'm not talking about fair skin. I'm not talking about, you get what I mean?
Yeah.
It becomes a thing. So I think what I'm asking is, why is it such a big thing when we date outside our race as opposed to when men do it?
My opinion is, I think, I, I think it's this a misogynist thing. I mean, to be honest with you, because with me, let me put it out there. I don't care. Like, before I answer that question, let me talk about Lamont. I was with Lamont during the situation he's talking about. Me and him talked all the time, and I met the person, and he did what he could for that chick, and they yeah, they basically turned on him. So he's speaking from the heart. I got his back on that, and but I think it's more like, I think it's a misogynist thing. I think it's more like, I can do it because I'm a man, but you can't do it because you're a woman, which is unfair. Because black women are supposed to see. I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, I'm agreeing with. I think that's how men are thinking. Like, I'm the man. I should have my concubine. Da, 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 da. You're supposed to be the queen. No, you can't do this because you can't have kids by this white guy because you are the mother. Da, 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 which is pretty stupid. Um,
Mhm.
with me, I'm not against. I'm not against any type of interracial relationship. You do what makes you happy. But if you do it, and I'm not putting the rules out there, but I'm saying, if you dating outside your race, okay, that's good. If you're happy, you're happy. But don't trash. If you're dating a white guy or white woman, don't trash that black man and black women and say all black men and all black women are trash because your mama was black. She had your black ass. So, and your father was black and he helped make your black ass. So, and you're black. So don't be trashing your race because maybe you picked that person because nobody wanted you either. But I don't have a problem with black women dating outside. I think what it is also is, with the status thing. I think it's pretty messed up that black men dump the woman and get a white girl when they get up there. But on the flip, this one makes some people mad. But that's what I do. That's on the Facebook jail. You got some black women that when you make it up there, they are the most ratchet ass women on the planet. They act like, yeah, my man got this, blah 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 blah. F y'all, and I'm like, hold up, chill, relax, pump your brakes. And I think, and that's not all black women. That's just some, just don't know how to act. It's just like the black guy that got the black girl that made it. I love this rapper, Corday, dope young rapper. He dates the tennis player, the Naomi Osaka. What's her name? The half black, half Japanese chick.
Oh, I know you
Yeah,
talking about. I can't think of
dates.
her name
Yeah, he
though.
dates her.
Hmm.
She made it, and he was on the come up rapping wise. But when she won the U.S. Open, I think it was, he got on there and threw the fingers up. And I'm like, yo, come on, man. She up there, she made it big, and you on TV throwing up middle fingers. And I think that's another reason why some people like, okay, yo, when you don't know how to act in public, you know. I think it's both sides, but I don't know, man. It's I don't know. I think we're
Yeah,
our
because I ain't buying that one.
we're,
I'm
we're,
not
we're, our,
buying
we're,
that one.
we're our worst enemy, man. It's
But
like,
my thing is, I think the issue also with that comes, okay, if you're gonna say I'm gonna choose this when I get here, if something
I
happens
don't like that.
and then let's say a situation happens, you lose money or you don't have as much. Now all of a sudden she gone.
Right.
And now you want to go. oh, black women did it. We always gotta be the one to pick up the pieces and build your strength back up when and for you to shit on us all over again. So it's like how many times? Oh, it's I don't think it's no appropriate. I don't think it's really an excuse. I just think it's messed up because it's nothing that makes it sound right to us.
Right. I agree. I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. I think another problem we both have when it comes to dating and then the success, we feel like we have to live that stereotype. And what I mean by live that stereotype, it's like all right, it's just like with us talking. It's just
Flag
like
on the play. Flag
let
on
me
the play.
let me
Flag.
finish, let me finish before you stop me. Hold on. It's like we say you talk white or you talk black. It's like sometimes when we make it somewhere. I'm talking both sides, men and female, male and female. We act like we have to uphold this ghetto-ness rather than saying, okay, let's show some self-respect for ourselves. I mean, look at okay. Let's compare Denzel Washington and his wife to some of the
Right.
guys who's making it now. You never hit when the only time I seen his wife get lit was when he talked about making it. This is like a couple of months ago, and she was saying, "Yep," and I take all his money. But they were joking. But now we have other people, Cardi B, Nicki Minaj. Let's keep going down the line. You say, "Wow, you getting on TV and you just acting straight ratchet." And this is guys too. I'm just giving situations. It's like we
Mhm.
have to uphold this ghetto-ness. It's like we say we don't have to. It's like if we feel being having self-respect is being white, we
Right.
get on TV talk proper. Oh, he up there talking white. And look at his girl. She up there acting all bougie because she's not saying anything and she's quiet. But then we get the guy up there. Yo, you see Lil PP up there and his wife? Yo, they were up there getting lit. Ah, you know what I mean? And that also goes to the relationship stuff. You got the black guy or the black girl who got the white guy, the white girl. They get up on stage and they're like, I like to thank my friends, my family, those who support me. Then you got the white guy who's chilling. You got the white girl who's chilling, and they walk off stage, and black people, oh man, look at them. She acting all white. He acting all white. That's what I'm saying. And there's no reason to date outside your race, but I think that's what some of the situations why people do date outside their race because. But it also goes to the person you meet and what environment they came from. If they
Oh, so
came
we
from,
can celebrate you ratchetly in our own communities or before you make it, but not public, but
no,
not
that's
when
not what
you
I'm.
make it in
No,
publicly. Because
no,
normally that's what that is, and we like, look at my, that's
no,
us
no,
really celebrating.
I'm talking like I mean, I'm talking about the person themselves. I'm not talking about the supporters. I'm talking about the person themselves. That
Mhm,
man and that woman. That's who I'm talking about. Now we could be wild. We're supporting our peeps, but I'm talking about those two people on stage,
mhm,
or two people who made it, or the person who made it and his wife or his girl. That's what
mhm,
I'm saying. We could be out here like, yo, my nigga, that's us. That's what I'm saying. Like, suppose me and you made it.
mhm.
And we get on stage, I'm like, yo, I like to thank my wife Coco for everything. They be like, oh, he acting all white because you sitting there, because you standing there like, you know,
And
nod
I'm
your head
like,
like,
that's babe. There you
no,
go.
you nod your head. Now if I go up there, yo, check this out. I want to thank my niggas, blah, 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 and you like the hell yeah, my bitches and everything. They be like, damn man, niggas don't know how to act in public.
We
That's
being
what I'm saying.
outside.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm talking. Yeah,
Can I say something to Mike real quick?
yeah.
Mike always do this every time. You can tell Mike over here because Mike always listen, Michael. And he said, okay, when I made this statement about
Mhm.
okay, let's say they lose everything, then okay, now you're looking back for the black woman to now be with you, be strong. He said we choose to do that, but it's a catch. It's that's a double edged sword, and I say that to say this. When I mentioned when we date outside our race, it's like staying strong and staying and support black men, right?
Mhm.
One thing that black women do is we always support, we always uplift, we always stand behind and stand next to our men. That's just proven, seen. everywhere. So okay, yeah, you went here and there. So are we still supposed? Is that the time where you're saying that we supposed to give up on them and being like, oh f you? One thing that we do, no matter what, we've always had y'all back, even when y'all cheat.
I think that goes both ways.
So don't say it's oh da we choose. That's not what you asked. No, the point that I made that I'm making is not to say that I get your point, but it's kind of safe to say we're not good enough when you're up here, but we're good enough when you know what I mean? Now all of a sudden
Yeah, I
we're
got
good
you.
enough now. So that was the point that I'm making.
I got you. I'm with you. I'm with you 100. Yeah. I think if the person's with you from the start, I mean, you got to, you just can't dump the person. Be like, yo, because that person was with you when you had zero.
Holy crap, wait a minute, hold on. Deja got a short comment. Can I read that one? No,
Oh, I was,
I didn't know that was her.
that was Lamont or somebody because I seen the red. I was like, well, damn, what? We got to take a screenshot of that. You
Yes.
go, Dave.
They should say you will never be good enough for the wrong person, regardless if it's dating outside your race. I agree.
I do too.
But I think I know he came in a little bit late. I think the comment and it was brought up because we're talking about people who, not saying that your preference is your preference, but when
Right.
you demean your own race, and then it's like when you're here, okay, this is good enough now, but then you
Yeah.
want to look down on us and go somewhere else. And then when that doesn't work, or she done called the police, or you done got locked up, or you done lost all your money, your job,
Yeah.
something happened. Now all of
Right.
a sudden be good enough again. That's what I'm referring to. I'm not
Yeah.
referring to that's not because a wrong person is just a wrong person. That's not the conversation. But
All
yeah.
day. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. How much time we got? Let's look at the clock. Make sure we don't go over before we take our break. Yeah, I think if you date outside your race, okay, so be it. But don't be like bashing like, yeah, I can't stand black women. I can't stand black men.
Because
You
you
know,
came from one.
right? And you are one.
Yeah.
So no one said that you're not that. Just like you feel this black woman or this black man ain't about shit. They might feel the same about you. That's why they're not dealing with you. You know, because and you feel you got to go outside the race because nobody wants your ass. And
And
you
then
want
y'all
because
be thinking they preferring y'all. They not preferring y'all. It's only because they looking for a come up or to be taken care of and they see the money. Because a
yeah,
lot of y'all ain't cute until y'all got money.
yeah. I see and I know a lot of white women going to say to me, "Man, I can't believe it just has these comments." No, when I say what I'm getting ready to say is this: some black men, not all, some black women, there might be a lot of them. Some of them choose you because they know you're going to let them have their way. Let's just keep it 100 because you're not going to argue with them. You ain't going to fuss with them. You ain't going to put your hands on them. I mean, you might call the police and get his ass locked up, but he's gonna be able to call you anything he want to call you. He's gonna be able to sex you up any kind of way he want to sex you up, and you're gonna go for it because you got yourself a black man. You got a mandingo. So let's just keep that 100. But when we come back after the break, I do want to touch on that sexing up stuff with the black and the white, the races,
I'm
because
here for it. No,
yeah,
I'm joking.
yeah, I do want to touch on that one, because that's one of the issues. I don't know about now.
That's coming
'Cause
up after the break too. Black women dating outside of their race, white men. Occasionally.
yeah, yeah.
I got
So
y'all. It's coming because I know that's what Lamont waiting on. All right,
yeah.
Mike. I'm gonna send you the link. Damn. Okay.
Oh, here you
Okay.
come. The general's about to
Right.
be in the building.
So coming back from the break, we're gonna take a quick 6 minute break. We will
Hmm.
be back shortly. Go get your drinks, take a time out, use the bathroom, but please tune in.
That's right.
As it in today's time, because
Right.
nobody's really checking the receipts.
Not all MCs, not all rappers.
No, some
rap
rappers
shit
are it's fabricated.
Right.
You know
No,
what
but
I'm
I'm
saying?
saying not all of them are rhyming about that.
That's true.
I mean, most are. 95%, 98%.
That's too high of a percentage.
Look at the charts.
No, chart. If you're talking about charts, that's different.
What's on the charts?
I mean, but that's how we're identified, right?
Right.
But remember, let's go back to metrics. Let's go back to metrics. There's a lot of things that are popping that are not on the charts.
If they want to know the best about us, where do they look?
Right.
Yeah.
They look at mainstream culture, right?
We said that when we spoke about the Grammys.
And what is mainstream culture?
Right.
It's violence. It's drug dealing. It's drug selling. It's drug using. That's what they perceive as the best about it. Why though?
Right. No, you're right.
Why is it the best of us?
Right.
Why? Like Sam Smith gets to sing a great song about "Stay with Me." Mm-hmm. That goes straight to power rotation on a mainstream radio station. If I sing that same song, "Stay with Me," limited bandwidth, because our violence isn't the threat. Our love is. Our family separated. It's fine. It's perfect. The man staying with his family and raising his kids and pouring into his woman. That's the threat.
You're about to be a preacher.
That's.
Dale.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Kazual Konvo show, where we have conversations about topics that affect the communities.
I was late again.
We are in the building again. We have the Kazual Konvo, so you don't have to have the tough one. We got my host Coco in the building, and we got my man, the General.
Oh my
Mr.
God!
T himself.
Can I ask a question? Wait a minute. Where the voice I hand radio at? Excuse me. Hello.
He in the building somewhere.
Can I get a countdown? Because I be late all the time. I don't never be back. I thought I was frozen. Like I was like, is he back, man? Look, I was all into it and I was jamming to the song. But hey, y'all.
Hey, let me send a disclaimer. Let me send a disclaimer out right quick. The comments by Mike Taylor do not represent Kazual Konvo or Hand Radio, but they may represent me. They might represent me, so I'm not going to represent myself.
Look, well, hold on. Okay, let's put a little edit in there, just a little paraphrase. It depends on what he may say if it reflects the views of Coco, and I don't know about Ham Radio. Everybody like but
hey Mike, I talked to somebody offline. They said, "Man, I don't like that guy." I said, "Who, Mike?"
Yeah, not supposed to.
Mike is that person that people love to hate. Like you love him or you hate him. It ain't no in between. It's like when Mike is good, he's good. When Mike is on his, he's on his, But anyway, to the people listening, joining us now, we have Sir Mike. So can I say one thing, Mike?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you listening?
I'm listening.
Are you listening?
Yeah.
We're not gonna get into it tonight, okay? We're gonna have a nice night. We're gonna stay on it even, but we're not going.
I'm just here for the conversation, like always.
Deliver it, Mike. Deliver the goods, man. Deliver the goods.
Look, I had to get some water on you.
That's what's up. You're gonna need it.
Well, we got 3 Geminis in the building right now.
You already know what. Actually, if we include the voice of Hand TV, that might chime in. We got 4.
We got
4. Ted in the house.
Gemini took over.
Man, we about to get it popping.
And then I just realized I'm the only chick. Let me put my game face on.
Yeah, you gotta put your game face on.
I'm gonna be clear tonight.
Keep it 100, Mike. That's how you do.
Why aren't you clear, Mike?
Everybody want to be special and whatnot.
Keep it 100, homie. That's what you here for. Keep it 100.
Okay. So what are we discussing now? I know y'all want to break, so I know y'all changed the topic, right?
No, actually, technically, you know how it goes over here on Kazual Konvo. We are talking about why do people date outside their race. Some things, of course, as we always do, especially when you are here, we tend to go off topic, which is fine. I don't mind because it's all relatable to, good key points. I do want to say this, even though you can be controversial. I do value your opinion. I do think you give some good um insight of like another perspective. You know what I mean? Um, so I do. I want to say thank you. I do appreciate that.
I mean, I think I'm the youngest on here, so it worked.
Don't do that because I'm younger. I'm the youngest.
I'm only 23, man. Hold up.
I just, all right, so because I wanted to ask the question, so
Mm.
um, outside of your race,
Have you ever dated outside of race? Let's start there.
well, yes and no. So let me explain it to you.
Oh, like last week when I said certain things don't count, it's so now you got to guess and no.
No, 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 no. I want to clear it up. So dating outside of my races means like dating somebody who's Asian and white, right? Dating outside of my culture is like somebody from the islands because they're technically black. You know, Puerto Rican, Dominican, Jamaican, they black. I mean, slaves was there. They mingled and mixed in. No matter what they try to tell you, they are niggas. So, you know what I'm saying? Period, point blank. We can just stop with the
Right.
foolishness. There's only two colors, man. It's black and white, and them niggas is black. What happens is they come to the United States and they get assimilated as white. Okay, but them motherfuckers is definitely niggas. I done dated a couple of them motherfuckers. So let's talk about outside of my race. I've dated a few white girls, a few Asian girls. What I've learned is they can't really relate to our struggles. So like if I'm having a hard day at work and I know I'm being discriminated against, the first thing they'll say is, well, why would you go there first? Maybe you're not working hard enough. You know what I'm saying? As a young man, I was like, what, bitch? Like, what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm the only black person in the office. You know, I earned my spot to be in here. Um, and I think, and it's not something that black men are gonna admit to, but yo, we like different pussy. You know what I'm saying? It has nothing to do with us hating black women. It's just that shit, once you get access to different shit, you want to try different shit. So I think
Why we can't have different penis then?
you can, but I'm telling you the difference. So we're not trying to actually marry these people
I'm
at the
joking. It was
same time. Yeah, we're not really trying to, like, majority of the people who go to college and they have their experiences, we are not married. We're not trying to marry these people. And then the ones who actually get with, like, you know, they grew up in a white community, or they have been rejected by their preference in the black community. And they go out there race and they're more acceptable for what they like. So a lot of people would think like cats who in the anime have to date outside their race. It's a whole black section of black anime watchers.
Mhm.
I know because I'm one of them. But back in the day, yeah, back in the day we got made fun of.
Yep.
You know
Yep.
what I'm
Called
saying?
corny and everything else. Yep.
Yeah, so we never did. You know, we never really we got shunned for a lot of stuff at an early age, and some men don't get over that. You know what I'm saying? Like some men don't. They don't actually get over the rejection,
Mm-hmm.
but by their type that they're just chasing. You know what I'm saying? That's why I said like before we was doing like men really have a range, but we start off with a type as a kid, like as an infancy in manhood. So once they get hurt and they find out that they can find another girl who accept them for their flaws, like they own swords and they watch anime and you know what I'm saying? They're into computer games. So those were like so those were the things that driven men who get with different cultures and be like, oh well she treats me like this and she's this is that and the third because they've had their bad experiences based on what they thought that they liked. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
You
So the,
know,
so the one thing, so that's like the biggest thing when it comes to like men bashing black women. Now, for the black men that date black women and think because their nationality is Puerto Rican and this is a black person speaking Spanish, that's where the ignorance come in at. You know what I'm saying? This is when you don't do the history. You know that everything on those islands from Haiti all the way to shit, even though all the way to Ecuador to Venezuela to Belize is black.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So with that being said, it's a cultural thing. So they're more so they're more acceptable in the culture.
Yeah.
So let me explain. So I
No,
dated
you're
a
right. Go ahead.
yeah, I dated a white girl, great girl. Um, she couldn't understand my struggle, and as a younger man, it was frustrating to keep trying to explain myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I left. Um, I dated an Asian girl, great girl. Like we went to college together.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I just like my women thick with booty. So you know what I'm saying, it didn't last long. You know what I'm saying, because it was something for me to do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, now we're gonna talk culturally. I done dated Puerto Rican. I done dated Barbadian. I done dated Bohemian. I done dated Trinidadian. I done dated Jamaican.
Mm-hmm.
I done dated African.
Can I ask a quick question? I
Sure.
mean, it's going into what you're talking about. When you say culture, because I know sometimes we look at different environments as different, like the culture of your environment too. Do you think that plays a part? Like, for instance, like in some places, like when I went to Arizona, it was a lot of because that's pretty much like they're
Let's stay
all like
home. Yeah,
so.
let's stay home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, keep on that too. Why you with that?
Yeah, so culturally we think it's something different because she's cooking. Um, she's more lenient. She doesn't really know the black ways. Let's put it like that. So we tend to get over on them.
Right.
So I dated a girl. She's from Barbados. I met her family, and they automatically assumed I was stupid, like I was dumb. Like somebody reason rap music told them that I was retarded. So I got invited to dinner. I'm a gracious guest. So until I get put in a position where the father was ranting and raving like, "Yeah, American black men are lazy." I'm cool with you. Cool with you talking your trash. Now, when you talk about we're uneducated, then that sparked me. Like, what do you mean? Because
Mm-hmm.
didn't your daughter go to college and drop out when she had a baby?
Right.
And then he's like, "Well, I mean that did happen, Mike, but you act like you got a college degree." I do. I graduated in 2007.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so he's taken aback. The mother's trying to diffuse the thing because he has to get hostile. And I told him like, it's amazing when y'all come over here
Mm-hmm.
and y'all take advantage of the black struggle with all the rights and the privileges that y'all gain through our struggle. Y'all culturally forget who we are.
Yeah.
So culturally, we get ostracized. You know what I'm saying? So you try to downplay everything, but we built this country flat out. So everything that you get, you're not swinging from a tree because of us.
Mm-hmm.
So dating outside my race, I had, they understood. Like, oh well, I don't really understand the black struggle, and we could talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Culturally, it's an insult. Like we're actually going to war with people that's darker than me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because how we're perceived in entertainment and in videos. So the loud ratchet woman, that's in rap and all that other nonsense. That's why they work so hard to get rid of neo soul music. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? You don't even hear about it. It was the biggest thing ever in the early 2000s. Joe Scott
Mm-hmm.
you don't even hear about Bilal and Black Love and none of that.
None of them.
Hold on,
Because
I don't want to get too far off because I'm trying to be nosy.
no, I'm coming back. I'm
No,
about to
I
bring.
just have a quick question. So, out of those relationships, also for Bosco as well, um, was it like long term? Would you consider them long term relationships, or were they like short lived?
It don't last long.
Mm.
What's
So
not like
you
long? Like, give me a roundabout.
okay,
Mine
so
was under a year.
yeah, so you're looking at under a year,
Yeah.
depending on if you
Not
want to
that
stand
long.
and argue, if you want to stand and argue with people based on stereotypes, and this is from black men, so black women don't even have a bad rap. Y'all just angry and considered unruly. Black men are considered lazy,
Mm-hmm.
unproductive, We have millions of baby mothers out here, which I only got one. You have, we're uneducated, and then they take that because that's placed on the news and say, oh well, your women are smarter because they go to college, and that's not the case. I mean, most of our jobs don't really we don't really need a college degree to do our jobs.
Right.
But if they place it on education alone, black men are at the bottom. Um, and just in the recent years, the CDC came out and said, "Shit, the best fathers in the United States are black men."
Sure did.
So, so it does. So,
Bring it back.
yes, I'm coming back. Um, so if you want to stand and you want to fight against the stereotype, uh, don't date outside your culture. Date outside somebody who has a vague understanding of your like me dating the white woman was great. Like yeah, we talked about each other cultures and what she didn't understand, she just didn't understand naturally. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like the Asian girl already understood. Like they already hit the out struggle. They just don't want to be us. Like
Right.
you know what I'm saying? They know that they don't even vote. So while we be screaming out voting and voting, they don't vote at all. They just get money.
Mhm. You know
Um,
what? Okay, go ahead.
so yeah, I would rather date outside my race than outside my culture.
Mike made a point a few minutes ago about the hobbies because I found that
Mhm.
um like me, I got comic books. I collect dolls, GI Joes, and I customize them stuff like that. And my niece will tell you she's watching the show right now. A lot of black women won't deal with me because, like I said, I watch anime. I do all
Mhm.
that stuff. They won't deal with me. I got video games. It's not like I'm going to be on the game and not pay them no mind, but they see me as corny and everything else. Now, and this is not trying to push anyone above black women, but I did find that women out white women they accept it and they'll get it. A lot of them are into it a lot in anime and stuff like that, and that's why things are so much different. And like I said, like me, I've been trying to find a black woman for the longest, but when they say, "What do you do?" I got, I collect
Yeah.
comic books,
And
I
see, that's
buy
funny to
dolls.
me because
Huh?
I know a bunch of us who like black who like anime. So that's why I'm like,
Right.
it's
Yeah,
funny.
I can
I
find
mean,
one like
I think it's I think it's fair to say I think it's where we meet people
Mhm.
in and and how it comes together. So to say that there's none, let's just that's why I always like
Yeah,
to try
no, I don't mean
to
it's
kind of
none.
yeah.
So
But
we're
I
talking
think
about we're talking about before social media. So
I'm
Right.
not.
before
No, 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 no. I'm
before
not
we
even. No, hold on. Hear me out. I'm not even talking about that because even coming up, a lot of my friends were heavily into it. Is what I'm saying to you. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like when we hear that, I'm like, okay, fine. Which I'm glad you did bring up social media because I
Mhm.
wanted to throw it. I just want to throw some things out there just so to make sure I don't. I want to try to cover a couple of things. That's why I
Mhm.
was trying to bring it back. So even when it comes to social media, social acceptance, do you guys think like now because back then it was kind of like no matter who you were if you dated, especially like in my time coming up, it was like you better not bring nobody else like that home, you better not do that, or you was looking at like ugh. It was like a thing that people tried to hide that they were like dating other people outside, especially for women. But
Oh,
now I feel like it's more socially accepted, whereas though you got social media, the media, movies, it's pretty much like and I noticed like a lot shows, TV shows, and movies, the couples are mixed. You don't, it's very rare that you see the same sex. It's always like, but it's usually predominantly um black man, white woman, or of another ethnicity in like a movie or a show or even on social media. Do you think that projection is like making it more accepted now? Or is it like painting a picture of this is what the ideal couple look like?
but you know what? Hold up. When you said about the mixed couples, if you notice, you see black woman, white male.
Now,
You
but
don't see black
before
male,
that was
white women.
lately. I'm gonna say probably within the last 2 3 years, it's been more frequent. But prior to that, as it was becoming like the thing to do, it was more so that. But what I'm saying is, you don't see a lot of, even if it's two white people, two Asian people, it's usually two mixed cultures. Even if it's a white guy
What I'm,
with an Asian woman, yeah.
but you're missing what I'm saying.
No,
You're
I
missing,
get where you're going with it.
they don't have the black man in the white woman.
No, I get where you're going with it, but that's what I'm saying. Like, do you guys think like the media and social media and all those things like Lamont mentioned earlier, like Serena, and she's
Let
not
Mike
the first one, but you got like Eve, Serena, Janet Jackson, dating all the, but I'm looking at it like, okay, they're also like dating billionaires too.
I'll let Mike take this.
All right, so let's be clear. Let's clear the sugar coating off the damn table. So
Yeah, because he was rocking. I just had to get it
Yeah,
out.
Mike. Yeah, Mike killing it.
I don't have
I'm
time
gonna
for
eat my
this.
chicken and listen to Mike.
Yeah, now I'm chilling, sit back so I can walk you through this bullshit. So this is only popular after white people realize that their asses is going to extinct by 2045. After they figured out that their population is decreasing and they have the oldest population on every continent, they need to save their race. Um, there was also like, even you can look this up on YouTube, where a rich billionaire said, "I will buy your eggs." Right, talking to a group of women, black women, well, black women, just not of black culture, because American black culture is way different than any other black culture on earth. So he said, he was telling them, I would buy your eggs, and they're sitting there. He's a billionaire, right? And so he says, well, I'll buy your eggs for $100, right? And so they're like, no, 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 we're not gonna do that. And it's another billionaire sitting there say, I brought $60,000 worth of black women eggs. Because in your DNA, in your pure mitochondria, y'all can create, y'all the only, it's called the Eve gene. Black women are the only person on earth that can create all races. Okay? So now they know that they think is it. Now it's not. So now we're gonna put it in perspective. So in order for them to keep their race going, they have to project now that interracial dating is acceptable, right? And it has to be portrayed, portrayed to the masses in droves now. It's still not socially accepted, but they had to look at it. Back in the day, black women would either get raped by a white man or date a white man, and their kids would come out white, right? Shahzad Ali said this in Hidden Colors 5. Now these babies are coming out black, and they're coming out darker and darker and darker, right? Because now they're realizing now that through all of the struggle, through all of the pain, black women are creating now black babies, right? So you had what they call the mulatto child now really doesn't exist now. She also spoke on that. She also spoke on dating. I'm getting to it. She also spoke on dating. She said it flat out. Shahzad Ali said it flat out on Here Comes Five, that black women has to get used to a different smell. You know what I'm saying? Like black men, when we date outside our race, they don't smell like y'all. I mean, y'all don't they don't smell like cocoa butter. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They don't sound like they don't smell like shea butter. You know what I'm saying? They don't. Yeah, they don't.
Right.
When they get out the shower, down glisten. So
I know.
So for black men, it's we are an eccentric bunch of men. So it has to be a reason why most black men are loyal to white women, is because they helped them when they were down, or is what the status quo is once they get into like money. But how you look turn me on, how you smell turn me on, how you smile. It's a natural thing that can't be copied. So when we date, you see most black men go out and they'll date outside the race, but we come back like, you know what I'm saying? That's something that we wanted to try. When it comes to black women, y'all marrying these motherfuckers. Like we ain't marrying these motherfuckers. They in it for the ride. Unless they can do what like Terry Crew wife did and get him a job. You know what I'm saying? We ain't doing none of that. You know what I'm saying? Exactly.
You're
Right.
really
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. That's right. You had to give her that. You had to give that Victoria's Secret lotion hand. I know what you had to do.
No,
Yeah,
y'all ain't read the whole
I
thing. He
read
said,
it. I read it. What he
Pump.
said.
like
Yeah.
Dove soap and Alizé.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. And you had to
Well,
make sure that she could get
Let me
that.
let me let me let me reiterate the question real quick. I just want one quick answer. Both. Do y'all think the social media and the media has a part in where it's more acceptable, like
Yeah.
that is the way to go?
No.
Yes, I
No.
do.
Okay, why? Now we can go. I had to revert it back, Mike. You was taking too long.
Well, I was thinking the scene. Yeah, so I had to lay out the history. I had to cover it all. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
we got.
I think so
But
because again, Mike, go ahead.
all right, so I think not because even in white society, it's still frowned upon. Okay, the only person that accepting interracial relationships now is black people, who were strongly against it from jump. That's why when they put out the movie Jungle Fever, it actually explained why we felt that way. They're not marketing it towards white people. They're marketing
Oh,
to black people, who your grandmother, my mother, my grandmother said, I don't care what you do out in the world, but you better not bring no white woman home.
I remember those days.
Right. So now that is marketed to us. It's not a successful thing. It's a successful thing if black women buy into it, and it's the average black woman and it's the average black man. It's not these niggas that with millions and billions of dollars. It's me that gotta probably catch a bus to go somewhere. They want you to accept it. It's in their culture it has never been. But also in the white culture, should they white women has always been expendable. Always been expendable. Whereas though even if it was in Tulsa, Oklahoma, or in North Carolina and Durham, or in what is it, Wilmington,
Wilmington. Yep.
yeah, Wilmington, North Carolina. The white women are always and Rosewood. They always been an excuse to bring pain towards black people. Have always been at the expense of white women dating black men.
Okay.
I think
Oh, go ahead. Edris.
I think social media
I mean,
has some influence. Um, but I agree with what Mike said, but I think social media is influencing people. I really do because I see more people are now saying um, they're supporting people of doing the most, I don't know, outlandish shit to be honest. And also back to I said back to what I was saying about the commercials. Um, it's more they're showing more white men and black women. It's like
I
they
agree.
have an issue, and they won't show a dark skinned black man with a white woman, not a dark mandingo ass nigga with a white woman. They'll have a light skinned guy, you know, but they don't have a problem with showing a dark skinned women with a white guy. And I think that's their little taboo. They're not gonna break because they don't want us with their women. They don't mind the black woman being with the white man, but they don't want no black man with no white woman. And they're pushing that. They're pushing that through social media. Um, yeah, and it goes back to what Mike was saying about comfort. What is more likely to happen? A white woman who has money taking a black guy who doesn't have much, or a black woman taking a white black guy that doesn't have much? Most likely, the white woman's going to take that black guy, even though he don't have much. The black woman's not going to take a guy who don't have much. Let's just keep it 100, and it
Well,
goes vice versa.
I'm gonna give
The
her
black
one.
guy, the
Yeah.
black guy will take the black woman or the white woman who doesn't have much.
I
That's where some of the issues are.
I agree with both, but my answer would be I think so. We've discussed the social media narratives, like especially with us within our communities, and I think it also has a lot to do with also the cultural environment because we also got to think where other people live and things like that. So I say the social media thing is a yes for me because again, when you see most women are always on social media, or I want my relationship to look like this, I want my relationship to look like that. So then when you see uh, a black woman with a white guy, no matter whether it's a Rihanna or whoever, and it's like, oh, if Rihanna can do it, I can do it, because we like it. Just Bosco, you mentioned it many times before, like who we idolize and who we put on these pedestals play a part in social media. No matter what we tend to think, it has a way of influence. And when we talk about influencers, so if you're a big influencer that you follow all day 24/7, you looking at how she dressed, how she moving, and all of this other good stuff, what's the most thing especially young people do is you try to have that particular type of lifestyle. So why I say social media, because now you have a younger generation that's highly populated on social media. If this is what they say, this is what they do, because everybody wants to be seen, and I want to be like this person, or I think this is what it's supposed to look like for the image of what's considered cool.
You know what? Like we had spoke a few shows ago. Um, Nicki Minaj, and I know I reference him a lot, but the point I'm going to make is Nicki Minaj, Cardi B, Beyonce. They talk about independent women. These niggas ain't shit out here, but guess what? They're married. Nicki
Mm-hmm.
Minaj is married to a guy who basically has proved he can't be trusted. Cardi
Mm-hmm.
B, same thing. He ain't shit. But they got all these women who idolize them, say, "Oh, these niggas ain't shit." Da, 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 da. But you know what? They are committed to guys who cheat on them and everything else, and they will not leave these men. So
Mm-hmm.
I say that to these women: why are you idolizing these women, trying to find your man? Listening to these women who got sorry men but won't leave them, because you know why? They got the money. They got all of this stuff. They don't. And see that's and just through my experience, my opinion, and that's another reason why some black men have this anger towards some black women. Some men, not all of us, some, because you got these women who don't have nothing, who idolize these women, and then I don't know. I'll let Mike take it. Mike know how to, he know how to break that shit eloquently. You know.
Yeah. So all right. So this is how it works, right? So, uh, so social media is now.
That's my attorney right there, man.
Yeah. So social media has two waves now. So the interracial thing plus the knowledge of like certain um, black scientists that we knew nothing about.
Mm-hmm.
Her name is Dr. Cress Wilson, and like yo, she spent like almost 3 decades reversing the idea that black people have like recessive genes, right? She ended up proving that we have dominant genes.
Dominant.
That the reason why the white man is definitely mad at us is because we have the ability to wipe out his whole bloodline
Easily.
This is the reason why they don't push interracial marriage towards the black man. Um, when it comes to like social media, it's what you tend, if what you want to digest. You know what I'm saying? Like it's what you want to digest. It's not like it's just permeating your head. It's the things that you like, and then they pop up. So you choose what you like, and then the social experiment give you what you like. That's all social media it is. It's a social experiment to make sure that the programming that you like reach you first.
Right.
Um,
I agree.
but you're looking at it through you're looking at it through like a window pane. When it comes to culturally, we know where we stand at. No matter how bad we want to pretend that we're happy with the interracial thing, we don't actually, as black people, openly accept it at all. Because once you
Okay,
gain,
but hold on. Pause. Time out real quick. Okay, so with that being said, we talked about that in the first half, but I feel like and please hear me out. I feel like black women mainly get that charge, and we get uh what is it called?
berated,
We get looked down on, like it's like we get attacked for even vocalizing it. So when we're saying, it's like our black men be like, well, if you did this, if you did that, I wouldn't be over here. Da, 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 da. And then it becomes a demeaning thing again of putting down the black woman. So I say that. So when you say the culture thing, I get your mind frame, but when we look at it as a whole in its entirety, that's not always the case. Because some people really think in their minds, like you're speaking from a man that's like, I want to say culturally aware, right?
Right.
You have some men, black men, who be like, I would never deal with a black woman. And
All right, so
you get what I'm saying? So yeah.
So let me tell you, everybody processes hurt different. It has nothing to do. It has nothing to do with your complexion. It's things like his mother wasn't nice to him, so he doesn't want to date a woman that wasn't nice to him. You know what I'm saying? This have to do, most of the time it has to do with traumas. You know what I'm saying? The first girl that you like, you know what I mean? She pushed you on the ground and make you scrape your knee, and then you was crying and everybody made fun of you. So these are black men who haven't processed their traumas. You know what I'm saying? Like coming from like if your mother's a dominant person and she treated you some type of way because you look like your father, you grow into that. I don't want to date a black woman because that's your first example of what a black woman is. Okay, when you go off to high school or college and you the awkward black guy and you find a white girl that like you, that's who you gravitate to. Like if you ever watch the show called Dear White Peoples, it's a guy in there that he was awkwardly awkward, but to find out he was actually gay and didn't know how to express it.
Right.
So
that was they was in something like that. That one were they in college? Like the cast was okay, I did see that. Okay. Netflix.
So, yeah, Netflix. Yeah, I don't want to put no plugs on the weekend.
I mean, no, I don't even this one. I just had to make sure I was following. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so you have those guys like this isn't coming from a place of goodness. You know what I'm saying? This ain't like, oh damn, Shorty make great apple pie, so she makes sweet potato pie like my mama. This is a guy who first attempted to see what black women were like. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. That's what I said, Hans. So it's not like so it's not like it's coming from a place of healing. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's not coming from a place of healing. You know what I'm saying? And even with Serena Williams, man, it was all business. Same as with Eve, it's all business.
Yeah.
These are business moves. You're looking into having heirs to resources.
Well, let me ask you this: would you date outside your race again?
Oh, I'm a lot more culturally aware than what I was before. So no, I know what the game is now. Like when you're younger and you're just going through life and you haven't took the time to actually study your history. Mm-hmm. Then you go outside, you play with everybody. Mm-hmm. It's when you start waking up and you know why they want you for black women to have an abortion. They know why they want y'all to have a hysterectomy. They need y'all stem cells, and why they keep your placenta. You know what I'm saying?
Can I say one thing? I'm gonna send you this article. I'm so sorry, but I meant to mention this earlier when y'all was talking about they need us to make babies and all this stuff. I think the voice of hand radio. I think I sent it to you. So it was an article I found on they're taking the stems. Okay, the stem cells. So what they did was they created an embryo without the use of sperm or eggs that has a brain, a heartbeat, and like can grow into a person. So we always joked about the cloning thing and all of this stuff. So to say that, so now I think it's to the point when that's what I wanted to mention when you was going back into it about needing us to create. Now that's no longer the case.
It is. It is.
Hear me out where I'm going. Hear me out. No, just listen to me. Hear me out where I'm going with this. So for the longest time, they've been trying to do this, right? It's create life and create whatever. So just imagine if they can do this just from a cell, and I get where y'all coming from. You need the stem cells, whatever. So when you talk about reproduction between a man and a woman, if this can be scientifically done, what type of people do you think they're gonna make?
Oh man.
No, listen. So this how this works.
No, wait. I'll be like,
they're gonna make white people. You know what they're gonna make? They're gonna make Caucasians. You know exactly what they're gonna make.
Mike,
without makeup.
Mike,
Yeah, they
can I
gotta use our makeup.
Why do you always do that to me? I'll be like giving you a specific yay, nay.
Because
then you always be like, let me just
it'd be more to it, you know what I'm saying? I mean, yo, we from Baltimore. Listen, listen. We from Baltimore, so you know who Henry Alec is. You know why they say
yes,
right, you make antibiotics and all that to keep them alive.
Okay, but I ain't what I wanted just then. I just wanted so I can go into what I was going into so I can get to where I want to go.
Hey, check this out.
Yeah, but you know when they make these babies, it's gonna be white babies. That's why they're having all these trial and errors.
Because that's where I was going at with it.
Yeah,
you know what Mike said. Like when I came up, growing up in New York, I've always been kind of a nerd. And I could say from kindergarten to when I went to the military. Like I said, my mother was hardcore, and you know, I love her to death. It's not to trash my mother at all, because my mother raised me to be, you know, she taught me a lot. I raised around a bunch of women. But all through school, black girls picked on me. All through school, from kindergarten to high school. The white girls liked me because I was smart, I was quiet. But when the black girls saw I could fight, then it was like, oh, he can fight. But they still, other than asking me, can I go beat up some boy? Other than that, they wouldn't have nothing to do with me because I was smart as hell. When I went to college, even junior college, regular college, 4-year school, the girls and the black girls, they would call me schoolboy because I did a lot of like, can you do my work for me? Can you do this for me? Da-da-da-da-da-da. Other than that, they ain't had nothing to do with me. But the white girls were like, hey, you're so smart, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, and my niece, Morena Bell, she'll tell you, I'm always saying to her, I wish I could find me a black woman. But black women, to this day, I'm 58 years old right now. To this day, I can't see that.
I said it to your phone.
I heard it beat. I heard it.
Yeah,
I know what that was.
Yeah, just ding.
I'm 58 years old, and to this day, black women will not be bothered with me because they say I'm too nerdish, I'm too corny, and all this other. But I don't give up. But my niece will tell you, white women are always all the time. Because they say you're so intelligent, you're so this. I'm like, well, why can't black women see that? My intelligence they see is being corny. You're not gangster love. I said, oh, I'm gangster. I just don't flaunt it like that. If I gotta throw my hands, I'll throw my hands. But they want me to act. I mean, I dress urban, you know. I wear saggy clothes and all that stuff, you know. But I'm not.
No, that's not urban no more. You gotta dress tight and wear pocketbooks.
Nah, forget all that shit.
I ain't do none of that.
that ain't happening.
That's dead.
But you know, they look at me as corny, nerdy, and all this other stuff. But with the white women, like Morena Bella, she'll tell you, she chime in. They always hugging on me. Oh man, I got so many pictures of them. I can't get no pictures with no black women. Nah, you too corny.
So I'm gonna tell you why. So check it out. So I was a nerd all through school, but I played sports.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
But I'm also funny. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm funny. You know what I'm saying? Like if I make a girl laugh, I got her.
Right.
But what I've learned, even in college, what I learned is that the big black guys are what the white girls want. You know what I'm saying? It has nothing to do. It has nothing to do with them attracting you. You fit the. You fit the ape clown, you fit the King Kong perspective. Right. You know what I'm saying? You fit the big black guy who really wants the white woman. So when you get a white woman, you that ape climbing up to the top. You know what I'm saying? That's what you're doing.
King Kong, right?
Yeah. Instead of looking at it as, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. What type of black woman? Because it took me a while. So what type of black woman do I really want to attract? Right.
Right. So
I started going to Otakon. And I started cosplaying. I realized there's a whole bunch of black girls in anime, bro. I'm the shit. You know what I'm saying? I got the big sword, bro. I got the. Trust me, man. I go out.
Oh,
And
I got the joints too. I got the joints too, man.
I go have a ball, bro. I got anime stacked to the ceiling.
Like I
but I found
But
it.
Serena Williams, Lamont just said she just won again the U.S. Open.
Oh, that's what's up.
So, she won?
Yeah, that's cool.
What?
That's big.
That's a good way to go out. That's a good way to go out.
But what I'm saying is that you have to find but like my girlfriend, like she digs anime. You know what I'm saying? And she approved of my lifestyle. So you can find whoever you want to find. You just said, I think though this is what the problem with black men. So we tend to think that we need to hunt in the same circles. Like lions go off and hunt elsewhere for new things that don't seem to fit what they want. And I think when black women go about dating, they tend to forget their responsibility to the black race. You know what I'm saying? Because you stop. So listen to me.
Don't tell me stop. I'm the freaking black woman.
I'm about to stretch it out. Let me stretch it out.
Hey, but I'm the host today, so go ahead, Mike.
I'm gonna stretch it out. So
will make me promptly.
So what I'm saying is that they forget because so they forget all of the struggles that they've went through because some women in slavery used to, sit next to the master. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when y'all get with white men, y'all forget like y'all duty to the black race completely. And I'm not talking about coming out here protesting. I'm talking about like procreating. You know what I'm saying? And I think when black men see it, I'm about to tell you why y'all get the plaque. I'm talking about when black men see it, they don't think y'all, especially like especially the whole like Umar Johnson.
Don't do that. Let me say something real quick. Because the fuck, no, you got me casting name. When you say that, you can't say that, and then don't push that shit on us because number one, how the fuck we forget, but y'all don't forget.
Let me finish. Then you got it.
Hey, yo, Mike, you got a hot.
Responsible to keep going.
Come, Mike.
You got a hot now, Mike, because she cursing now.
Because I'm about to get into your ass. Please fix that.
You got a hot because she cursing now. She was pretty clean.
I said the Hotep brothers. I ain't saying nothing about me. I'm saying the brothers that's really super duper woke and they really realize that y'all supposed to be carrying the whole race on y'all back. And when they see y'all with the white person, that's why they upset. And I listen to these Hebrew Israelite brothers and how they really, really, really go off. It's astonishing. But they really be going off because they feel like that y'all supposed to hold this thing on your back and y'all in control of our race. So
Lamont.
That's the fuck. Y'all see my neck pop? It was good. I was that woman today.
No, come on with it. You asked me why.
No, I didn't ask you why, but I didn't know you was gonna say no stuff like that.
That's what they think.
When Mike come on the show,
I didn't say me now. See, she's thinking
when Mike come on the show, you gotta remember.
I clearly expressed.
Mike, one thing I did was I listened very carefully to what you because you always saying some stuff. Now I was with you all night, and I even let you go astray and bring it back. But then you came and then you was like, "Cause y'all forget." You didn't say these particular people be like, unless I missed it.
I said the whole people. Yes, you need to go back.
Don't speak for them. I apologize, but don't.
You got to. Yeah, you got to speak for them because those are the ones that looking at y'all funny. Those are the ones that get the spotlight. You know what I'm saying? You have the spotlight on the Breakfast Club and talk about when they see the black.
This ain't the Breakfast Club. I'm talking about Mike.
No. The point he's making is those. It's like I said earlier about the loudest ones. Those are the ones that's always heard. That's what he's saying.
But I'm speaking to them then, because that's bull crap. Because the thing is, don't do that and excuse that. Don't push it over here when you got black men over there giving out that good sperm to all these other people that don't look like us. When you want to call everybody out, don't do that though.
All right, so let me tell you what the difference is.
I'm gonna
tell you the difference is scientifically, right? So we're gonna go scientifically. So when I take this beating, I can take it with pride. Make sure when you have a baby, you can make a white baby or a black baby. When I make a baby, it it ain't nothing but nigga coming from out of her womb.
You see it right out the gate.
Right. There is no there's no other
Look,
race coming.
Lamont.
Right. There's Lamont, I got you. There is no other race coming from my sperm.
Just stop here.
Okay, so no other race is coming from my sperm, right? That's why I was talking about why the black woman mitochondria is so important, because y'all the mother of all races. That's why y'all have what they call the Eve gene.
Yeah. Lamont need to come on the show.
But when black men have a baby, it's nothing but black. You know what I'm saying?
You know, right out the gate.
Yeah, it's nothing but black.
You know.
It's nothing but black. So
yep.
I understand why, like, all the woke community is so uproarish when black women date white men, because they say, well, you have the possibility. If you look at Robert De Niro's wife, she's black, but all his kids are white.
Yeah.
So y'all have the ability to make white kids. When brothers have babies, we have nigga. No matter what they call a mix, they are nigga.
You know.
That's why they came up with the one drop rule. So they can really keep tabs on niggas having babies.
Look at Kanye's kids. Even though he ain't dark skinned, you can look at them kids like, okay.
Yeah. Our phenotype is real, man. Hey, Hands, check this out, yo. The United States is the only place that make niggas. You know what I'm saying? Quoting Charleston White. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
So, but that's what I'm saying.
We need him on the show, though. We need Charleston White. That'll boost the rankings. That'll get us a couple of sponsorships.
A little too late. Lamar couldn't save him.
LeBron told him to go high. LeBron told him don't take the low road, take the high road. Go high. Yeah, it's crazy. My kid is mixed. Yeah, I know her daughter. Her daughter's my niece. Yep.
Before we close out, she made a good point. Marina said my kid is mixed, and she's still phenotypically. I think a lot of times, no matter what your race is, who you have a baby with, the baby may look a certain way, but at the end of the day, once they see or know that baby got some black in them, that baby is considered black.
Exactly. A phenotype can't be mistaken.
Right.
Not at all.
Yeah, phenotype, and that's why I be telling people when they talk about mixed babies, there's no mixed babies. You know what I'm saying? Our phenotype is the big nose. Our phenotype is still the small eyes. It doesn't change.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I be trying to say. Like, interracial dating, I really don't have a problem with it. Whatever you gonna do, you gonna do. I won't do it again because I know what my responsibility is to my race. You know what I'm saying? And it took me a while. Like, I just turned 40. You know what I'm saying? So it took me a while. It took me till I ain't old, bro. I'm looking good now, baby.
Hey, keep it rolling, man.
Yeah, but
that's what we're saying. Period. I forgot what I was going to say. Damn, Mike made a point. I was going back to the point, but I forgot the point he was making. Oh yeah, I know what it was. When we're young, we don't know. We don't know the history. We don't know none of this stuff. So we see a little white girl gonna come on to us. We're like, yeah, the white girl. Da, da, da. But once we get older, we start learning more. We're like, oh, okay, I see. Then we know. Because that's how I was. I didn't know. I mean, the white girls are showing me attention because black girls wouldn't. And I'm like, okay, and then, I grew up in the 70s, so it's a totally different era, and yeah, they, black and white, like, oh, you supposed to say, but coming up, that's all I knew because the black girls would not be bothered with me. The girl that got my virginity, she was white. I was trying to talk to this black girl named Nika. She's not watching the show. I'm pretty sure she is. It's amazing. I ain't seen her since I was like 12 years old. But
she might be listening.
She might be. If she what up, Nika? Anyway, her sister Kelly, what? Because never mind. We'll talk about that later. But I was digging her. She flashed in front of me. Now we're 12 years old. She's showing me everything, and I'm like, my mind is like, I'm like, blow. She would not even give me a kiss. But here come this white girl come along, and she's like, "You're so smart, you're so intelligent," and I'm like, Yeah, I am. You're so nerdish. I'm like, that's like, it's my head is like, next thing you know, she take me, we go around the schoolyard, she take my pants down. And I'm like, I don't mean to be so vulgar,
Wow.
but we having a casual convo, right? So she take my pants down. I'm standing there, 15 years old, and all right. I'm just saying. Casual convo. We had a conversation. The casual convo, that's what we do here. And that's how it's always been. And we had 2 hours already. Dang.
Yeah.
God,
Always I hate that, and I got out of character tonight. I apologize.
I mean, it's all good. You know what I'm saying? Like, I
might be bringing
like,
the pain.
yeah, but what I present you is, the other
So she
views.
might be going to
Right.
be getting so much, and I be trying to pay attention, and then I might have missed a key point, and then and it caught me up. I'm like, did he just say that? And I had to compute it, and he just kept going.
See, Mike bring the dirty version.
Well,
That's the version we need, the uncensored version.
Yeah. But but what I do is I like I understand my responsibility as a black man and a black father, and then like learning more and more and more about like the history of us that's no longer hidden. And social media was a shining light to that. Hidden
Shout out
colors,
to
hidden colors 1, 2, and 3 opened my eyes.
Hidden colors is
yeah,
something.
That's the series I told y'all about. I watched, and I read all the books, like as I said, all the people that you spoke on. I had to stop my son because that's what got him. And like I said, they give references a way you can do your own research. I think people missed a lot of the concept of the Hidden Color series. It wasn't just for them to let you know, it was to give you the information, but for you to continue on the journey of researching your heritage, but just to give you more background of where you are to get you interested in knowing more.
Yeah, I haven't seen 5 yet, but I'm going to check it out though.
Yeah, I've seen. I got all 5 plus buck breaking, which was
man,
buck breaking was real.
Yeah,
it's good. It will have you the thing about like with my youngest son. He was real young at the time. I told you he went to school and told the lady, "You can't tell me about me." And he would go home and watch it, and I'd be like, "Damn!" And at the time, my ex was very militant. At the time, he was like he practiced Muslim and stuff like that. So you already know he was backing him up. And then he would go and he watched it. He'd be like, "Ma, da 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 da." When that teacher called me, I said, "Well," in my mind, he didn't get in trouble because I'm like, "Well, and then I was like,
something? Black people, especially black males, need to read that buck breaking.
Oh yeah, they gotta watch it.
They need to check. They gotta watch. They gotta watch that. They gotta watch that.
Yeah,
they gotta watch that. They'll be like, "Oh, okay, yeah."
Yeah, that's so that's what I said. Once you start searching, then it gets clearer and clearer. Like our stance all together. Like black love is dangerous, black togetherness, black family, black unity. And this is a great topic because we've all dated outside our race, whether good, bad, or indifferent. But we always tend to bring black kids in the world. And that's what I'm trying to. Yeah, that's what I be trying to say. Like you see white men, man, they date black women all the time, but they kids are white. I got a dude in Baltimore. He loves black kids. All his kids are white. You know what I'm saying? Like
even to piggyback off of that, I think my thing as a woman, and I think I speak on being the only black woman up here. Even if that's your thing, right? And if that's your preference, we can't tell people what to do in their lives. We can't tell people who to see, who to date. I get that. We making some good points of why it's good to stay within race, but at the same time, the issue is please do not demean your race when you came from this woman.
Oh yeah. I don't like them fuck niggas.
Your mom, your aunties, your grandma, all of those things. If that's what you choose to do, don't knock the next person or put us down and try to belittle us to put your whoever on a pedestal. You ain't gotta be queen, my ribbon, all of this stuff. But just say that's your lady and go sit down.
But that's what I've learned since I've been on this social media thing. It's all right. So it's good to have a conversation, but then it's great to have controversy. So majority of these guys like think about it. The guy that just made, he doesn't like black women. He think that they're at the bottom, right? He made a video, If you go on YouTube, every woman has something to say. Every pro-black man has something to say about what he did. But his TikTok is now generating him enough money where he doesn't have to work. So it's not always about how a person feels just to be controversial and also to get that bag. So if I was going to show right now and say, I love me some Asian women and black women is the footstool. You know what I'm saying? And then I share it on my Facebook. Because remember, in order for you to record something to put on social media, it's a conscious decision. So I put it on there and y'all go crazy about it. People on TikTok, they take it and they do the duo side by sides and all of that. My viewership is still going. So if I only had like 2 followers, now I got like 68 million followers. So it's not always about grandstanding. There's always a strategy in doing something stupid.
The the drink champs clip that was on point. Cause like he said, is
Tank,
Tank. The black violence is not the black violence is not the threat. It's the black love that's the threat. If they get us to hate each other, it's all good. They get us to love each other, they got a problem.
Well, that's what I said. I said, have you ever? Well, have you the first? This is the first time in like 15 years that R&B is not big. You haven't heard an R&B song yet. You've heard pop songs,
right?
You have yet to hear the closest R&B song that just came out was a dude talking about you wouldn't like me if I had hoes. You know what I'm saying? What's his name? DVSN or something. He just put out this. That's the closest R&B that you have. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't even come close to Tank. I know people don't like R. Kelly, but he makes great R&B songs. Deborah Cox, you know what I mean? SWV, like they're not putting together group, and we have the resources and the money now. And we are a black collective that we actually making people stars on YouTube, and no one has yet to put it. Yeah, nobody has yet to put the R&B group together.
Even still that, I think I was in a car with a friend, and like we were listening to I love old school like R&B, so all that stuff like OJ's, all that's my shit. Right. So I was like, damn, and I said it's crazy. I said you realize the music has completely changed. Back then they was talking about love while it reproducing, you know what I mean. So it was kind of like it was come let me come get you. So you was trying to get somebody in the more soulful. You felt it, and you wanted to love on somebody. Now it's like
I'm trying to smash.
Let me kill you real quick.
Let me my boys.
It doesn't feel good. It just makes you angry. And we always talk about I know we're gonna dive more into it next week, but it's like music don't move your soul in a good way. It's like I wish a nigga would.
You know what album really impacted a lot of people when it first dropped? R. Kelly, Born in the 90s.
Oh yeah.
That thing was just solid from start to finish.
But that's what I said. Like even with Lamont said, like Lamont was like it was some good R&B females this year, but they're not groups anymore. Like SWV, like look at it. Yeah, SWV, the Boys and Men, Jagged Edge. They're not coming.
Cut close.
They're not coming to the table with like. And when we have the talent to actually make great music.
I think the last real good group was what? Destiny's Child, maybe?
No.
Is anybody after them?
But no, ain't nobody after them.
Not really.
Yeah.
No, that was the last group.
A lot of people aren't even making R&B isn't R&B. It's just like if it's not talking about busting it wide open and all of this stuff. Even like if you really like decipher the songs back in the day, I'm not gonna lie. Like but they did it in a way that was so subtle and that it was like right. It wasn't like I'm going downtown tonight. That's what it goes tonight, and then they just sing it. But back then it was kind of like turn the lights off. But now you just gotta go. I'm like, damn, I'm just gonna get out.
Let me and my boys hit it.
Yeah, but even then, and that's what I'm saying. Like right now, it's
we say I'm on the break. That was popping.
Yeah. So they're not really like, but they're not. Yeah, Teams is dope, but they're not pushing like, groups back to back. You feel me? Like even right now, our music is caught up in Afro beats now. So the African artists are getting a lot more play. You know what I'm saying? There's never been a group like Sade. You know what I'm saying? They ain't been. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, we have the songwriters. You know what I'm saying?
Notice what Mike said. A lot of people don't know that. The group
What?
is named Sade.
Yeah, the
Not
group
the
is
singer.
Sade, not the singer.
Not the singer.
Yeah.
People think Sade is the singer. No, the group is Sade. Exactly.
Yeah, so it be that way. So it's not like, you know what I'm saying? It's not like feel good music. I mean, they may come out like once or twice, but they're not.
They're not really putting it out there.
Yeah.
I got a
That's
question.
gotta be a-
Big Bosco.
Yo,
Remember we had a conversation the other day,
which
and
one?
I said, you know what I think would be nice?
Yeah. Oh, by talking about the music.
No, we
I'm
talking about the.
down. We need
Huh?
to. We need
No,
to.
we're gonna talk about it next week. But no, I asked you a question. I said, so what do you think about this idea?
What I think about who?
Never mind. We'll talk. We just do it next
No,
week.
say it. What I think about
You're
what?
not
Say it again.
following me because
Who?
we got a couple of minutes to close. I was gonna let you.
Oh, okay. Just hit me off the. Just text me and we'll figure that out.
Okay.
Yeah. For
Because
those that
right
don't,
now, you know, I got the
and if
flag.
listen,
The flag is in
listen.
my system right now. So
listen, and
you
for
know.
those that don't like me, listen what they say. So for those who don't like me, right?
Tell them, preach it, Mike.
Those that have something to say.
Mike, you got 2 minutes.
Okay, for those that don't like me, for those that got something to say, I am probably one of the last generations that actually know who we are without having to sit underneath an elder. There's no Minister Farrakhan. There's no Henry Clark. There's no Ben Yao. No, nobody. This is us learning who we are.
This is it.
You know what I'm saying? And if you don't like me, that's because you didn't do all the studying you're supposed to do. Find out who you are first.
That's why I call him the general. I mean, he's a general, man. Yeah, I respect what you say, man, because you get that perspective that you get that dirty perspective, the stuff that people need to hear unfiltered, you know, and that's what we need. I filter mine, 'cause I guess we got to have that balance, but you bring that dirt, that grime, and we need that grime to smack people up so they get it. You know what I mean? Yeah, I love it, man. But
Right, before we head to close, I got one thing.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you who are listening and watching, if you don't know, this Saturday, Ham Radio in the Irvington community will be doing our 4th annual Food Conscious Tour at 4020 Frederick Avenue from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's free family event. You can meet some of the Ham Radio personalities such as myself, Africa 400, the voice of Ham Radio, the real estate podcast, and many more. There will be vendors, food demonstrations, our very own Ham Radio brand. Tommy will be there, cooking demonstrations, a lot of good things, live entertainment, fun. Bring your spouse, bring your family, bring your kids, bring everybody out. It's free. Come on out. We have fun all the time. Regular schedule program.
We about to close this out. Thank you for watching the show, y'all. Come back next week, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Ham Radio, take us out.
It's your last takeover, Bosco, next week.
It's the takeover. Ham.